On from Kennett Aviation. Nice low run to start there by this one of a number of Wasps on the UK Civil Register. This particular one was the 39th example built. It was taken on charge by the Fleet Air Arm initially on the 6th of February 1967. It then was sold to the Royal New Zealand Navy in September 1982, that being one of several overseas operators of the Wasp. Retired in 1997 and then brought back to the UK. It's been operated since then by Kennett Aviation, having been returned to the area. It carries the markings worn for operations off the ice patrol vessel HMS Endurance. The Wasp's first flight occurred on the 28th of October 1962. It was one of two designs produced initially by the Saunders Roe Company, which was later taken over by Westland under a programme to produce an anti-tank helicopter for the Army Air Corps, which became the Westland Scout, and a manned torpedo-carrying helicopter for the Fleet Air Arm, which was initially known as the Sea Scout, later the Wasp. Wasp was largely seen as a weapon-carrying platform only when it entered service with the Fleet Air Arm in 1964 with 829 Naval Air Squadron. The intention was that the helicopter would be sent and directed to its targets by either its parent small ship, other vessels, or a Wessex HAF-3 helicopter, the targets being Allied submarines that could carry Mark 24 or 56 torpedoes, depth charges, nuclear depth bombs. Later the type was adapted to carry the SS-11 and AS-12 wire-guided missiles for attacks on surface targets. By the time of the Falklands War in 1982, the Wasp had already started to be retired in favour of the Westland Lynx, but 11 examples served down in the South Atlantic. They flew from 8 different ships, a mixture of frigates, the ice patrol vessel Endurance, a container ship, and survey ships. On the 25th of April 1982, 3 Wasps from HMS Endurance and the Type 12 frigate HMS Plymouth, along with a Wessex and 2 Lynx, attacked the Argentine submarine Santa Fe, which had been resupplying Argentine positions on South Georgia with troops and equipment. The Wasps using AS-12 wire-guided missiles on that occasion. The sub wasn't sunk, but it was abandoned and thus became the first naval casualty of the conflict. The interesting feature of the Wasp was the undercarriage. It's a castering 4-wheel arrangement. It might be a bit unkind to liken it to a shopping trolley, but that's in effect the principle. The intention was to allow Wasps to be able to manoeuvre even on the heavily pitching deck of the small ships from which the type was designed to fly. later in the Wasp service. They were used for training duties and as liaison helicopters by the Commando Helicopter Force. The last Royal Navy Wasps were phased out in 1988 when the final Type 12 frigate was decommissioned, but those of Indonesia and New Zealand came out of service in 1998, and Malaysia didn't phase the type out until the year 2000. 133 were built in all, and there were 6 overseas customers, numbering Brazil, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Netherlands, New Zealand and South Africa. John Beattie, who flies a variety of aircraft for Kennett Aviation. We've seen him at Duxford in the past in the Seafire and the Sky Raider. He's a very accomplished helicopter pilot himself. Recently retired as General Manager of the Royal Navy Historic Flight at Yeovilton, though he's still very much involved with that organisation.
You know the... No, hello?
And completing his display there, John Beattie in the Kennett Aviation Westland Wasp HAS-1.
The big shop where you usually come
From that sprightly little helicopter, we move on to the